Thank you, Jackie, and I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's event. Tonight's about the kids. This is all about the kids that we take care of, and we've got some very special guests here tonight that you're going to meet a little bit later. But we are thrilled. You know, our mission at Salus is very broad, but the thing I think that we get the most out of is taking care of those who really need our services. And you know, we're very lucky because not only do we have world-class faculty, but we have world-class clinicians and a world-class facility to provide that care. And one of the things that we've been doing for well over 20 years now is we've been going out to Philadelphia Public Schools and other places now into Montgomery County, and we're providing care for children who normally wouldn't even have access to this type of care. And then when we find out that they have the requirement, we bring them to one of our clinics, we provide 2 pair of glasses, or we provide hearing protection or hearing aids, and we change their lives. And we hear story after story after story, and frankly, we couldn't do that without the help of folks like you and our wonderful sponsors. I always say this is in our DNA, and it really is. But yeah, my heart's out to the faculty and the staff who volunteer their time, and also to those folks who embrace us and embrace our mission. I want to take a couple of seconds to just thank our sponsors. Tonight's event couldn't be done without it, and frankly, you know, we're raising money so that we can continue this mission. So our title sponsors, and the name might sound familiar to you because also our guest of honor, Lindy Properties and National Vision. Silver sponsorships are Conocelli Toyota, Fox Rothschild, and Office Depot. And then we've got, keep those printers going. And we've got a whole host of bronze sponsorships as well. But the other thing I wanted to mention is these events don't happen by themselves. So I would like my staff to be acknowledged, Jackie Pattison and her staff, and the one lady who's not here who really did a lot of the legwork is Kate Brammer. There's one other person I want to acknowledge. You're going to hear from this person a little bit later. But the Looking Out for Kids charity started 13 years ago, and this was the brainchild of a very special person, and that's Dr. Sue Olszewski. So with that, I'd like to introduce our special MC for this evening, who's been doing this now for 5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
5 years.
We're getting up there.
There you go. Rosemary Connors from NBC Fund.
Good evening. This will be obviously a quick portion of the night, and then we will head back in there for obviously plenty to eat, plenty to drink, everybody to mix and mingle. I have been doing this for a few years now, and it's an event that I tell my husband every November, just you mark your calendar, we're going, we're going to be there. And it's funny because he sees his optometrist here. Dr. Cassie, who I believe is involved obviously in the Salus community. Is he on your board of trustees?
He is on there.
Right, and I saw Dr. Cassie. I said, "Oh, did you run into my husband Ben?" He said, "Oh yes, of course." I said, "When has he seen you last? I mean, when did he go in for an appointment?" Because as any spouse in here knows, you have to keep tabs on, especially your husband, to see the doctor. And he said, HIPAA prevents me from telling you when he was here last, but I can tell you this: I see him every year in November at this event. So it's certainly a nice time for both of us to be here, and we appreciate you having us. So for the first part of this, I want to bring up some actually very special guests, because they are the patients, they are the students, the children who receive the services and who benefit from the services. It's the reason why you're here tonight. So we figured this would be a great opportunity to hear from some of these students. So if our young ladies can come up to the stage. Kiara McCoy, Arden Kaito, and Haley Flannery. Ladies, and Haley, are you going to join us? Would you feel better if maybe one of your parents came with you? No? Are you sure? Well, why don't I start with Kiara here and Arden, and if you change your mind, you can come up. Right? Okay, so we'll start with you ladies. Kiara, first tell everybody, Kiara McCoy, tell them where you're from, where you go to school, and what grade you're in.
I'm from Philadelphia, and I'm in 5th grade, and I go to Independence Charter School.
All right, and Arden, why don't you tell everybody your full name and where you go to school?
My name is Arden Keitel, and I go to school in Erdenheim Elementary.
Erdenheim Elementary. Okay, great. And so I'll start with you, Arden. Tell us your experience. You've been with the Pennsylvania Ear Institute, correct?
Well, my experience has been really good. I mean, when I have a question to ask my doctor, she always answers it, and
It's Dr. Bondurant, right? I kept hearing this name throughout the evening. Dr. Bondurant, Dr. Bondurant. I know she's here, right? There she is. So tell us what Dr. Bondurant does for you.
well, she helps me, and she alters my hearing aid. She listens to my questions, and she does anything I ask.
I love you, Arden.
And Arden, before you met Dr. Bondurant and you had this experience with the Pennsylvania Ear Institute, tell me about your hearing aid before. It was kind of green and kind of didn't fit and kind of not cool, right?
Well, it had a lot of things I didn't like about it. Like, I didn't like wearing my FM because they had to put something in my left ear, and then Dr. Bondurant, she attached it to the back of my hearing aid, so then I could have it in my right ear too, and now I really like it. Also, I had this one little green pipe that I hated because it was green, and then I asked about it, and then she changed it to blue in like 5 seconds. And then for my hearing aid mold, she made it a tiny bit smaller so it fit better, and I really like that.
And it's glitter too. The mold is a blue glitter, right? It matches the blue tube that connects to it, correct? All right, okay. And Kiara, we'll pass the mic over. And I see that Haley's almost ready for us. So we're gonna let Kiara talk for a minute, and I'll come down to you, okay, Haley? Haley's just fine. It's getting a little late in the evening. So Kiara, tell us about the Eye Institute. That's how you came to DeSales. They came to your school, right?
They came to my school, and they were very nice, and they helped me find the perfect glasses that I've been looking for a long time, because I had a year-old glasses and I didn't like them, and then they helped me find like the perfect glasses that really fit me and really show my personality more.
And before you were able to get your new super cool glasses, describe what it was like being in the classroom.
It was very hard to see because I couldn't see the board, and I would always be single, like I would always like have to sit in the front and be singled out from everybody else, and that really made me feel like very down and very like sad because I couldn't sit with my friends. And then ever since I got these glasses, I could. My teacher has been really like helping me, and I got to actually sit where I wanted to sit ever since I got them.
Great. And do you feel like you're learning more in class?
I feel like I'm learning a whole lot of things because I can see it much better. So I feel like I'm reading more, I'm doing math more, I'm just doing everything, and my grades have definitely improved after I got these glasses.
Yes, so this is Haley Tran. Say hi, everybody. You have such a pretty dress on, Haley. You picked this out, right? You picked the mic. So you picked the dress out, right?
Yeah.
And so tell me, so you've been seeing, did you see Dr. Bondurant, is that right? Yeah, what did Dr. Bondurant help you with?
My hearing aid.
She helped you, right here, she helped you with your hearing aids. And what did she do for you?
She fixes my hearing aid.
They were kind of not fitting so great, huh? And now they fit much better. And they look pretty cool. You've got the glitter mold too, right? Do you mind if I pull your hair back just a little bit? Yeah, you've got that pretty glitter, that blue glitter in your ear. And so do you feel like you can hear a little bit better? Right, yeah. And tell me about some of the activities you do.
Karate.
You do karate.
I do swimming.
You do swimming.
I go to school.
You do? You're in kindergarten, right? And what's your favorite part of kindergarten? You told me recess. You told me recess was your favorite subject, right? Yeah. I think around kindergarten, that's everybody's favorite subject. Haley Tran, and of course, Kira McCoy, and also Arden Keitel. Thank you, ladies, very much. I've interviewed a few children in my time. And for our next part of the evening, I am thrilled to be introducing to you Reed Foss, who is the CEO of National Vision, obviously tonight's title sponsor. A little bit of background about Reed before he comes up here.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. That's very nice. So we have over 2,000 optometrists associated with National Vision. It's about 5% of all optometrists practicing in America. But we noticed a great many years ago that most of the leaders of our optometric organization, area doctors, leaders of professional services, most of the leaders in our optometric organization came from Salus. It was sort of startling how uniform that is. And when Mike reached out and started to talk about how we could work more closely together, we thought, well, this is the organization that's creating all our leaders. These are the people we should be with. This evening is especially significant for us because it's just such a statement of a common value system. We as an organization are very much about trying to find ways to make eye exams and eyeglasses and contact lenses more affordable and accessible, especially for blue-collar and underserved communities throughout America. And this event is all about making healthcare, both optometric and as well as hearing, accessible to the various school districts in around Philadelphia and Norristown and Abington and Cheltenham, and I don't think I'm missing any. Am I missing any? There we go. Okay, and so this is very much at the heart of what we do, and so we're proud to be the sponsor again this year. Last week I was in Dallas and doing vision screenings in some inner city schools there, and I was talking to the team. We had a vision van that we were working with there, and I was talking to the team and I was saying, you know, we're going to see a great many kids here, and many we're going to help with glasses and eye exams. We're going to do the whole piece. But for a few of them, we will have a trajectory-setting impact on their lives. So, you know, the simplistic way of thinking of it is the difference between catching an eye problem in second grade versus fifth grade. How much have they missed? How much is impossible to catch up with if you miss it for those few years? So for a few of them, it's a major life-changing event, and that is what is happening, is the benefit of looking out for kids. I'd like to thank the doctors associated with National Vision who are here tonight, Dr. Shaw and Dr. Shaw, Dr. LeBlanc and Dr. LeBlanc, Dr. Oberle, Dr. Balgard, Dr. Karamisakis, who I believe is of Greek descent, the two of our three area doctors, Pankata and Yao, and also I'd like to especially point out our area doctor, Dr. Africano, who was just recently made a fellow of the Academy, which we are very proud of. Stand up, that's worth standing up. And we need his residents here as well. Where is he? Stand up. Very, very good. I'd like to point out Don Smith, who was the one who sort of facilitated our increased involvement at his alma mater, PCO Salus, and thank him. Don, where are you? And please stand up. Where are you? Right there. And I'd like to especially point out Dr. Al Pasquarelli. Where are you? Please stand up, Dr. Pasquarelli. Where are you? Who was a classmate of Dr. Middleman here when it was PCO, and is we're calling him the youngest but longest serving doctor who's been with us for over 30 years. With that, I'd just like to congratulate Salus on all the good work they do, both in educating the future leaders of healthcare and in providing so much good healthcare to underserved communities here in Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. Rosemary, back to you.
Our next speaker is somebody who needs very minimal introduction, but I am going to give an introduction to. Dr. Susan Olszewski, obviously Dr. O. It's funny because when I first started coming to this event, you were one of the first people I met the night of, and couldn't have been more welcoming, more wonderful, and obviously so revered up by your peers and the Salus community. She spent nearly 4 decades at the Pennsylvania College of Optometry and Salus University in both clinical and administrative roles. She's considered a pioneer for women in optometry. In fact, how many women were in your graduating class, including you at PCO? 4. Wow. And how many women now are students? 70-some%. As Dr. Middleman said, she is the reason we are here tonight. She founded the Looking Out for Kids charity and has been integral in raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to support vision care and eyeglasses for children who need them. Obviously, the mission has since expanded to include audiology needs of children in our area who need them. A recipient of many honors and awards herself, including recently in the past few years, the Alumni Association's Special Recognition Award. Tonight, she will present the Lighthouse Award. Please join me in welcoming Dr. O.
Wow, that's some spotlight. First, it's really very nice to be here, and it's really nice to see so many of the people that have continued to support this event. Reed, many thanks to you for being the title sponsor. The faculty, a little shout out to the pediatric faculty, those that see the kids at the Eye Institute for vision care at our facility, the faculty in PEI who see the kids in that facility, and especially Dr. Brandy Scombardi, who is the woman who gets on the bus and takes care of these kids in unusual settings. That makes it, in many cases, a little challenging. But she has great help in Kathy and Elisa and Steve, the big red bus driver. It's really a great team. So they need to be acknowledged, and they should be acknowledged. Allow me to just very quickly sort of review, go take a couple steps back in time and to let you know that sort of how this came to be. There was a time in my life when I had a role at the Eye Institute, both as a provider as well as an administrator. And one of the things that we had to do was to ensure that our interns had pediatric experiences. It was important that they had a well-rounded professional experience, and we were in there pitching to get them to see as many kids as we can. And that's when we really reached out. And really, Mike, it's been more than 20 years. It's probably been closer to 30, 35 years that we've been doing this. But it became very clear when we reached out to the School District of Philadelphia that the unmet vision care needs of these kids was dramatic. We did thousands of vision screenings as well as the school nurses, but the definitive vision care just never happened. And it became very clear that somebody had to step up to try to mitigate that issue. And the Eye Institute and the College of Optometry was at least one of the people in the city that did that. It doesn't happen without resources, and that's really when we hatched the Looking Out for Kids charity 13 years ago. We had it, we did it on a shoestring. We had it at the Hafter Center. We had a lot of fun. We didn't make very much money, but it was the seed that really allowed us to grow it into what you see this evening. And every year we do better financially than the last, and that's pretty doggone important. So to all of you who have continued to come back year after year, I'm very appreciative. To the sponsors in particular, way to go. So that's my first shout out. I'm not done yet, but recall that I'm here to introduce our Lighthouse Award recipient. We started the Lighthouse Award to honor someone in the community that has done exceptional things in the support of disadvantaged kids and families in a whole host of ways, whether it's supporting after-school activities, whether it's making sure that kids have a good academic support system, whether they need social services. There's a whole host of things that disadvantaged kids need. And so we wanted to acknowledge someone in the community that has done that, as well as someone who has acknowledged the importance of the Looking Out for Kids initiative. And that's sort of where we are here today. We're here to honor someone who has done just that. The word philanthropy comes from the Greek. Philos meaning love, and anthropos meaning mankind. So philanthropy is the love of mankind. And I would be remiss, I think, in advance of introducing Alan, in not giving a shout out to his parents. My dad always used to say that the acorn never falls far from the tree, and I think that is really true about Alan. His father, Philip, and his mother, Annabelle, were very, very generous with their time, with their talent, and with their treasure to support people who just didn't have as much as they did. They had a very successful business, but they never forgot the people who didn't have quite as much of them. And they spent a lifetime, really, in doing things that could change the lives of families and disadvantaged kids. And Alan, as I said, that acorn didn't fall too far from that tree. Before we, I should also say that in my preparing these words or this little speech about Alan, I have to also, I have come to learn that his brother Frank, his sister Elaine, and his wife Carolyn, they're not all acorns from the Lindy tree, but they all do the kinds of things that we should also, that we all should aspire to do in terms of giving back to the community. So I think a shout out to the entire Lindy tribe, if you will. So I'd like to just take give me another minute or two to go through a list of the things besides the generous support that he's given to Looking Out for Kids. Alan is a fixture in the Philadelphia community in a number of nonprofits, and I want to show you or give you some of the reasons why he is an appropriate recipient of this award. Alan has been a big supporter of after-school activities and specifically involved in something known as the Lindy Scholars at Drexel University. The Lindy Scholars is a collaboration between the Lindy Center of Civic Engagement, which came into existence because of a gift that his father provided to the university, and this college or the School of Education. And these Lindy Scholars, it's a program where undergraduates from Drexel University mentor middle school children in West Philadelphia, and after-school activities and Saturday activities. Again, trying to ensure that the academic preparation for these disadvantaged kids, giving them a leg up and trying to ensure success in whatever they choose to take on. He's also a board member of the Legacy Youth Tennis and Education Center, previously the Arthur Ashe Tennis Center. The mission, or some of the things that this particular nonprofit takes on, is it uses tennis as the primary motivator to deliver programs that provide leadership opportunities for kids and give them life skills that, again, will serve them well. He's a board member of the Urban Affairs Coalition, One of the things that this Urban Affairs Coalition does, again in line with the Lighthouse Award, it provides youth with access to safe havens, education, and creating financial opportunities or work opportunities for them. He is a board member. I don't know, Carolyn, do you ever see him? Because with all of these boards, I know they keep you busy. He's a board member of the Jewish Family and Children's Service. This organization serves people, including the most vulnerable in the community. He's a board member of Federation Housing. Federation Housing helps to try to ensure that low-income or moderately income seniors have a safe place to live, they have activities, and that they can remain in their homes. And I could go, he is a board member of the National Liberty Museum. He's a board member of the Mural Arts Program. And as you know, he has been a steadfast supporter of the Looking Out for Kids charity. So it is for all of those reasons and others that Alan has been selected. I've been really blessed to get to know Alan. He is a gentleman and a gentleman in everything that he does. He's a very worthy recipient. Let me end by giving you a quotation that I love from Pope Francis. A population that does not take care of the elderly and children and youth has no future because it abuses its memory as well as its promise. Now, I don't know, Alan, I don't know what other popely characteristics you have. Maybe none besides what this saying says, but it certainly does ring true. It epitomizes you, and I am just thrilled to be here to give you this award. So thank you so much.
Thank you for such kind words. Susan is also a good friend. Thank you, and especially for your acknowledgement of our parents and their work and their inspiration. Thank you. I guess this here.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to first acknowledge a couple of people, or first my wife Carolyn is here with it and for her ongoing support. My son Jeremy, who came in from New York. Sister Elaine. And my cousins, my cousin Jeff and his wife Nan, my dear friends, and all the people who joined from our team at Lindy Communities who took the time tonight to share with me, and I'm so honored and so grateful. Thank you so much. I'd like to share a couple words on why this program, I believe, is so important, why I've been so impressed personally with Salus and the work that they do. We are in a terrific room in a terrific hotel today. We have amazing food and wonderful people to share the evening with. And at the same time, if we could walk 25 minutes to west, we would be in the exclusive main line, and yet walk 25 minutes to the other side, we'd be living in some rough areas, we'd be in some rough areas of West Philadelphia. This is not meant to be a political statement, but the contrast of the people's lives where we have in Philadelphia, like probably most of you are aware that 25% live in poverty. It has the highest poverty rate and the highest obesity rate of any major city. As my sister Elaine is working so hard with, 2/3 of the public elementary schools in Philadelphia, public elementary schools do not have playgrounds. It's really the challenges that so many people have. It's hard to conceptualize it, and including with how many children, when they're young, go to school without having, not knowing that they need glasses, not knowing that they need hearing aids, and what they experience in that environment with it. So we live in these challenges, and we ask ourselves, how can we make the world, make our environment better than what it is? How can we make a difference with it? And what impresses me with SALUS is that it takes its skills, its expertise in vision, and training physicians, and hearing aids, and it says, we have the structure, we have this talent. It's not starting, and we go out and we reach out to those schools that have children who are most in need with it, and really changing their lives when they find out, you know what, they can see a blackboard, they can hear a teacher, they can read much better than, and they didn't know what the problem was. And it's a natural, SALUS is a natural institute, an esteemed institute, to provide this type of service because they're using their structure and their talents to best address this question, how can we make a difference? And how can we do it locally, and how we can do it effectively? And for that reason, I have been so honored and so pleased to have this relationship with SALUS, and it is on the 100th year. What an honor tonight has been. I wanted to, Dr. Millman, thank you so much for this honor, and for that, with Jackie, who I've known for many years in different groups, and Marcy, and of course, my dear friend Susan. Thank you for coming, and we're looking forward for the rest of the evening.